Hi everyone, I'm Ben Gonzalez and this is TDI. Today we're going to be talking about auto scams and how to avoid them both when you buy coverage and at the scene of an accident. And joining us today is Geneva Titus from our fraud unit. Hi Geneva.
Hello.
Tell us, the folks, what you do for TDI.
I'm an investigator here at the fraud unit.
So you do look at auto cases and other things like that?
I do.
Well, one of them that's been brought to our attention is this issue of ghost brokers. So what are ghost brokers and what's the scam there?
Sure. Ghost brokers or street brokers are individuals who are not licensed. They represent themselves through advertising on social media and sometimes at auto dealerships where you are required to have insurance before you take the car off the lot.
Right.
They gather all your information, then they go online representing themselves as you.
Go ahead. You were just saying that, so this is like when you're buying insurance, they're kind of acting as a middle person there?
They are. They're representing themselves as an agent, but when they go online, they're representing themselves as you, the victim. They gather all your information, and the insurance company collects a payment from them, but the information they provide is a fake bank account. Once they gather all that information, the insurance company gives them an insurance card, provided the payment's successful. They hand that information over to the victim, and the victim thinks they have an insurance card.
And they wouldn't know that they don't have insurance until
they have an accident or they're pulled over.
So how do you avoid that scam?
Well, there's a couple of things that you can do. One, get in touch with your insurance company directly. You want to make sure that your policy is correct. You want to make sure your email address, your phone number, your mailing address, that they're all yours. The second thing is try not to pay cash for anything.
Because that way they could pocket that money as opposed to, you should be writing your checks to the insurance company.
Correct.
And there's lots of insurance companies out there that want your business. They're going to be competing for your business, so you really don't have to have somebody do that work for you. And if you want to check to see if a company is licensed, you can use our helpline, which is 1-800-252-3439, or go to our helpinsure.com website and you can look up agents there.
That's it.
Besides ghost brokers, let's go to the scene of the accident now. What kind of things should people look out for after they've been in a wreck?
Well, when you have an accident, the first thing that you should do is call the police.
Okay.
And then comply with whatever directions that they give you. If they ask you to pull off to the side of the road and exchange information, go ahead and do that. Make sure that it's safe to do so. And take photos of who's of the vehicle. Notice who's in the vehicle. Are there children in the back seat? Is there a passenger? Take photos of the driver's license information, of the insurance cards, their vehicle and your vehicle.
Now, why do you want to see who's in the car?
Because you could be the victim of a fraudulent claim where individuals say that they're in a vehicle and they're not.
So they can say, I had 3 people in the back of my car and they're all injured, and
That's
that
it.
adds to the claim. What about people that are going to add damage to their vehicles afterwards? How do you protect yourself from that?
Take photos of their vehicles. Take photos of all the vehicles, yours, theirs. Obviously, it's best if the police are there because you can get a report filed as well. But those photos are a digital record of the time and date of the accident.
Very good. Okay. So that's what you look out for immediately after the wreck. And then sometimes we tell people to be on the lookout for people that just show up and maybe tow trucks.
Right.
What's the problem with the tow truck that you didn't call?
Well, you should be a little suspicious if a tow truck shows up on the scene and you haven't called them. You want to make sure that the tow truck takes your vehicle to a place of your choosing. And once you do, make sure you know where the car is going and that you get it out as quickly as you can. The tow truck drivers sometimes can charge exorbitant fees, and they're difficult to get in touch with.
They take your car somewhere and it's in kind of like storage then.
Correct.
Car jail.
It is. It's in car jail.
What about, besides the tow truck showing up, the wreckers, sometimes people will just show up and start handing you cards and things like that.
Runners.
What is a runner?
A runner works for either a doctor or an attorney.
Okay.
Runners are trying to push you in the direction of an attorney or a doctor that essentially can sue the insurance company on your behalf. And there's nothing wrong with hiring an attorney. But if you do, make sure that the attorney understands that any insurance claim checks need to be made out directly to you.
Now, somebody that's coming up and offering a card, that's not necessarily illegal, but it could be a sign that there's something underneath.
When someone shows up and they haven't been called and they're trying to push you towards an attorney, that's something you should be suspicious of.
Okay, thanks. So again, if you want to hire an attorney, that's fine. You can do that, but you want to make that first call. You're the customer in that situation, just like with the insurance company. You're the one that should be reaching out to them. Did we cover everything we're going to plan to today? All right. Thanks, Geneva. So if you suspect insurance fraud or you have questions about your auto insurance, call the helpline that I mentioned earlier, 1-800-252-3439. You can also go to our website, which is tdi.texas.gov, and be sure to share this information with folks that you know that might need it. For Geneva Titus, I'm Ben Gonzalez, and this is TDI.